Welcome back to more Disco Elysium. In the last episode, I met this very slimy creature here, the Union Boss. And now it is time to go back. He instructed his man to help me get the body down, which I think is important. I do want to continue with the main aspect of the investigation. And that, of course, involves getting that body down. Oh, by the way, I think this thing, I was thinking about it, and I think if I equip my crowbar, I should be able to open it. Because I couldn't figure out how to open this thing. There you go, now I can open it, and this gives me gloves, which gives me half-light. Which, by the way, what is half-light? I'm not familiar with that one. Half-light, right here. Let the body take control. Threaten people. Okay. So it's like an intimidation thing. Let me read about it. For ultimate performance efficiency, these Fallen Ultra Series gloves come fingerless and with a grippy padding covering the palms, making these ideal for quadrupedal movement or for lifting cargo. Okay. Trying to backtrack all the way here. I'm a little lost. Not gonna lie, but that's okay, because I found some money while being lost. Sometimes it's very subtle, it's easy to miss. Ah, there we go. Got some stairs here. Still can't open this, huh?
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw
nothing.
has not lessened.
I think I need more rhetoric to be able to try again on that one. Need to keep an eye on my map so I can see what checks I need to retry. I think we're finally getting somewhere with this investigation. It's good to advance the main story forward. Alright, so I got all this. I think I failed this, didn't I?
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset.
Yeah, I can try again. Let your muscle memory dial a random number.
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952. And a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. You rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
What is this place?
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy.
No, I meant what is this place to me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Do you know me?
No.
Why did I call you?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
My name is Harry Dubois. Do you have anything on my name?
Let me fire up the machine. Dubois. Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November '46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one.
What kind of film is that?
It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant Egidius Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia. No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Maine.
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
Okay, so I leveled up, and I think instead of putting a point into something, what I'm going to do is I am going to forget indirect modes of taxation, because basically all it does is give me -1 empathy, and sometimes I may get 1 real from conversation dialogues. I don't find that all that useful. I'd rather have the empathy. I still need +1 empathy, or I shouldn't say +1, but I need more empathy to be able to do a white check with Kuno. So I'm going to forget this one because I also need to do advanced race theory. Because that was part of another quest. So let me forget this one. The thought will be lost forever. Okay. That's fine. So let me read a little bit about this. A mass of fantastic races swirls in your head. Desert pygmies playing with their own excrement. Koikos juggling potatoes. Eczema-ridden Mons grinning and dancing on wooden clogs. Everyone is there. The whole race gang. Plus some of you may have come up with yourself. The thieving subkits. And the cell-light cast of fortunates hatching some kind of scheme. In the eyes of this 8-race Empyrean, a vertigo reaching up to the heavens, you sense something drawing nearer, nearer. Let me internalize that. And we'll see how long that takes. Okay. Very good. So now... yeah, now I can leave because I got the card from the Union boss. And then let me actually put my flashlight back on because it is night. I don't want to miss anything in case there is something. Yeah, let me talk with this guy that I knocked out. It's going to be an awkward conversation.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic.
I knocked you out like a god of martial arts.
True. I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered. A little.
Everard told you to help us get the body down from the tree.
So it was. You bested me in race combat to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, enemy. I will go and remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
I absolutely did humiliate him. Not only did I knock him out in front of all his girls here with a spectacular 360 kick to the face, but then I also told his boss to make him be my slave and do my bidding. Spectacular.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but. But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
Lieutenant, what if we don't want to do that?
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it down ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
I feel like one of us should stand here and the other one should accompany him and make sure that there's no direct interference with the crime scene, you know?
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup.
Sounds like I don't really have a choice then, so I will say, okay then.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
Especially with Kuno there. I don't want Kuno disrupting the body once it's down.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Why are you with Measurehead?
Look at him. His craniometric perfection. Are you cops or what?
Apparently so.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
The woman twirls her hair.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I also wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everard's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
Come on guys, I need this. We're workers just like you, let us in.
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
Yes, I'm an unbelievably corrupt cop. I am corrupt every opportunity I get.
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then, the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
That dude is a monster. It's like 7 sizes bigger than everyone.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
There has been no side choosing. We did what we had to do to keep order.
And what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
So the funky race theory stuff, I have to wait until I finish this thought, so I'm gonna leave for now. Let me get back over there before Kuno does anything. Now that I have the bag equipped, I should be able to pick up some random junk that I might find around. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. There we go, there's the trash. Take all that junk. There's this thing still too. Need to figure that out. But for now, let me come look at the body. There's Kuno. Let me talk to him first.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
By the way, Kipt is a racial slur.
Let me take a look at what I want to say here. Oh yeah, kids. But don't you mean desert Kipt?
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to crawl up your ass!
Kuno knows which Kipt Kuno meant. Kuno knows all the Kipts. Kuno's dad's a Kipt expert. Says Kipt every day. 100 times a day. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about anything.
Well, he has a dad. That's a start. You know, that's better than some other delinquents.
Try to crawl out of Kuno's ass now!
Yeah? The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck bag down?
So even though I removed that -1 empathy debuff from the thought, I still need to put 1 more point into empathy in order to be able to unlock this again. Alright,
Kuno
I'm
doesn't
off.
fucking care.
Let me take a look at the body.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Beautiful.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
A field autopsy?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual.
Interesting.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
Don't we have someone else for this? A doctor?
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From autopsy to cleanup to social work, everything.
Yes, I feel like a detective.
You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now,
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
He pulls on a pair of latex gloves.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Epuis Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of Disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Clap your gloved hands. Let's get in there.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
Alright.
I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes?
Where should I take these notes? In my paperwork?
Yes, you see, the field autopsy form is the one on red copier paper.
Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
Oh, so I've already explored all of these. Enough.
Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Let me try to get the boots again.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
Damn it. This is turning into some sort of mega puzzle. Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone asleep.
Yes, that's what we'll do for now. Let me open the ledger at the field autopsy form.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
Begin number 1, assistant.
That's you.
Gonna write Harry Dubois.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says...
Coroner's case number...
KK57-0803.0815.
Guess that's his precinct. And that's his initials. I don't know what the other numbers are.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Shouldn't we file the coroner's case under me? Technically, I arrived at the scene before you.
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
HDB 41 0803. Help me out with the time of day, anyone? 11:11. It's meaningful.
Exactly.
10:15. It's understated.
Now we're gonna go with 1111. HDB 41-0803.1111.
Good. Let's go with that.
Name.
NA. Next.
Date of birth.
NA.
Age.
Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
I'm gonna write around 42.
He nods.
Race.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
Write it down.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
7. Sex.
Fucky, fucky!
The little monster exclaims energetically.
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
I'm gonna go with male. I'm gonna keep it professional on the autopsy report. Poor victim.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Number 8. Date of death.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
HDB 41 0803.1111 listens motionless with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
11. Evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
A strange word. Treatment.
What exactly is treatment anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over?
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers.
He places his hand on the dead man's chest, as if in preparation.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
Turn the page.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Let me do an external investigation and examination and write the summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
He turns the body onto its side to check the underwear label.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Let's write that down.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
That's true. When am I gonna get them?
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
I'm gonna omit the boots. I definitely plan on stealing them tonight.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design.
It's interesting that I omit the boots, but somehow I only have the option to write down the serial number of the omitted boots. That's very inconsistent, but I have no option here.
Tattoos.
He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body.
The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo resembling a microelectronical circuit board. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Trigat Mini.
Write that down.
The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end.
Write that down.
Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing.
Write that down.
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
I'm gonna touch the corpse's hair before moving on.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
Stroke his hair gently.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread of a ragdoll's head. There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Keep petting him.
More hair sticks to the glove. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below. An alien landscape.
Write it down, adding the brilliantine.
Lividity is consistent with hanging, albeit faint, as noted. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
Gonna write that down.
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now,
He points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck.
we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
So that's a 42 physical instrument check. It's a red check. Cannot be retried. Let me look for a good spot to cut.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east.
What a vivid description.
The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose.
So now that I looked for a spot, this has gone up a lot higher, 83% chance.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow.
Press down.
Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
The lieutenant has kneeled closer, running his finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
Write that down.
Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia.
I'm surprised that his torso's intact, because if you recall, I shot him and missed and hit him. He pulls down the man's underpants.
No, it's gonna happen, see?
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Gotta do it. Gotta inspect the genitals.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
That is more of a description than I cared for, but let me write that down and move on.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
This scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item. Hands.
He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, and then moves on to the other hand. Let me pick up the hand.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name?
My name is...
I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo de Cappadocia?
It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair?
I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy, before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
The dead man's finger slips from your hand, cold and sausage-like. Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
He turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. Let's do the internal examination.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
If I may add the moral of this story.
What would that be?
He looks at you inquisitively.
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to the compromise in its blood supply.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
Thank you for lightening his mood. It's hard down there.
I'll write down NA.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
He gets close to the mouth hole, eyes squinting from the stench.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it. Gently, a rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
So a hyoid bone fracture is consistent with a hanging. For sure. Well, actually, I take that back. I think hyoid bone fracture is consistent with strangulation, but not necessarily a hanging. So it may be that he was strangled before he was hanged.
Respiratory system.
Back hunched as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands.
Look inside the dead man's mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Gotta look deeper inside.
It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking.
Gonna heal up here.
Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
The lieutenant repeats impatiently. He lets go of the jaws. The mouth snaps shut before you.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
He wipes his brow. Why, don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust.
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts.
Am I an expert in those things?
Nothing in your alcohol-soaked memory directs to having forensic expertise on either one.
I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it. Same for toxicology and serology, NA.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there?
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
Would obscure tidbits and odd trivia fit in the fields?
No.
This is a dialogue specifically for me. The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could still do.
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
Gonna write NA and add toxicology requested.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around, to the ground, the pool of feces there.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly. Write it down and keep the voila.
What's next on the list?
Let's do the description of injuries, the summary.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
What about the injuries we have inflicted?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
This is a team effort.
You mean the spin-stabilized munition from a Kill A990 muzzleloader lodged in his lung? That was not a team effort. I just missed my shot. Also, let's not mention it. Muddies the water.
But isn't that sloppy?
Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder. And if they do, such details would only confuse them.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
The boy nods approvingly.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now, injuries.
Bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. Opinion, fatal injury. B, non-fatal post-mortem. I'm gonna go with the non-fatal post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes.
I'll also put non-fatal post-mortem, although I could try to convince people that it was actually Kuno who lynched this guy by throwing stones at him. But no, I'm just gonna go with B.
Right. Next.
The ligature mark. Well, that's gonna say finish the autopsy. Let me say, what's the 4th injury field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Let's do the ligature mark then.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
So I'm gonna put that the opinion is that this was the fatal injury.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
He produces a small black plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. First, how did it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
What now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Rip out the copy of the autopsy pages.
For processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Ah, man, this is... I really want to pass this one, but it's 3%. So this is going to be perception. Let me leave real quick. And then let me see if I can put anything into perception in terms of my clothes here. I think I do have something that's perception. Or maybe not. Yeah, nothing for perception. Let me make sure I don't have any negative bonuses to perception. It's kind of frustrating because my perception level is actually pretty high overall just from leveling it up. So we basically have to try it.
The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature and more like a pile of intestines. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Let me try this.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Let me heal up my morale. 1. Let's look at his pants again.
The genitals in his breeches continue to be unnoteworthy. You see the penis of a dead man. If you've seen it once, you've already got the picture.
Can't get enough of that dick.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Yes, there's something we're not seeing.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Ah, so there was a fridge somewhere in the inn, if you remember, way back towards the start of the series. Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body?
Hey, wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building?
He points towards the commercial area. So that's what the ice bear-shaped refrigerator is for.
Now, that's an overstatement. It's not actually for storing cadavers, or at least I hope so. I think we should take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over. Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased will become harder to find.
Okay, very good. Let me look at the journal here. Once you're done with it, send the corpse to processing. Lieutenant Kitsuragi will take care of it. Check twice to see whether you're done with the all corpse-related tasks. After you've sent the body away, you can't take it back. And then you also need to buy yourself more time to find whatever you're missing in the corpse. A fridge would allow you to preserve the body longer. Ask the Whirling Frit or maybe Kuno or some of the local kids. So this is across from the Whirling. I forgot where it is, but I think I can find it. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so let's go. I think I unplugged that fridge as well, so I should need to take care of it. I think I can go in from here, right? Yeah, let me go in from here. And then I need to turn this on, actually. Let me turn on the
Both
bear.
cables are unplugged from the breaker box.
Let me plug both of them in. Well, I forgot which one's which. Let me do the black one.
Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented.
Okay.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
So I think I might have turned on the wrong one.
Only the black cable is plugged into the breaker box. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's black. It's not like it's the red one.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing.
Let me plug in the giant red cable.
Somewhere in the dark, a giant electrical mammal stirs to life.
Yeah, there we go. Now the bear is back on.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside its belly.
So, what do you think of this fridge, Kim? It looks big enough for 2 corpses.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can. Your visual confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in the ice bear fridge.
Shall we go and get the body, then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
Okay, let's do this.
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the butcher, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
You have created an ice bear sarcophagus.
Behold, we have created an ice bear sarcophagus.
Talk of the ice bear sarcophagus must not leave this room.
I think it is a glorious achievement and people need to hear about it.
No, they do not. They need to hear about our uneventful, boring, downright conservative murder investigation. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Okay, interesting. So I still can't remove the boots. I need to wait for him to fall asleep. And I need to try this again. I need to put more points into perception. Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
How do you like it in the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corporangelo.
At the autopsy, you said you have ancient mysteries.
Oh yes, Kobo mi Lobo. In the gift horse's mouth. Tracts and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried.
Yeah, but to where, brother?
Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo. A small gulp away.
Enough.
Come back later, Kobo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Close the door for now.
Advanced race theory. Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is lucid and bright. The mind-bending phylogenetics appear more distant and, to be fair, a little ridiculous. The great race mystery has cleared up. All that's left to do is verbalize your thoughts. Go and talk to Measurehead about your newly found insights.
So, learning cap for rhetoric is raised to 5, and then +1 conceptualization. Okay, excellent. So I got that, and I still have 2 points that I can use, and I will try to figure out how to use those in a little bit. For now... Why is this highlighted? Still need the sad song tape, which I think I can buy if I buy the record player over at the pawn shop. I think that there will be a tape inside of there. That's what I think. I can't prove it just yet. And then we still have all these checks that I ideally would like to complete. Man. Okay. Alright, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I think this is a good stopping point. In the next one, I'll continue the adventure here. There's lots to do. I think the game is really starting to get interesting now. I hope you're enjoying. If you are, leave a like on the video. I greatly appreciate it. Say something in the comments. Tell me what you're thinking. I love reading and responding to the comments. And I'll see you next time.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.